Recording. Okay. So we're going to talking about, let me basically break the ice, right? How I make money as an appointment setter. I'm going to show you exactly the ways I actually use right now to make money as an appointment setter. I'm making like 500, 300, 500 daily as an appointment setter, right? Now, the system is quite easy. I do what I called DM closing right now. But how I started was from appointment setting. I did DM closing, then I did hybrid appointment setting, basically hybrid sales. Then I did sales closing. Then I came into DM closing and a little bit of sales closing. I'm going to be breaking down each and every one of them so you guys can actually understand it. All right. So we have appointment setting, and we have sales closing. Okay, we have DM appointment setting. Now, in appointment setting, there are kind of two types of appointment setting. Let's actually break that down. But before we break that down, let me show you the rest. We have sales closing, and we have yeah. So that's the main two stuff, right? How I make money right now as an appointment setter. I rarely do the closing. I have someone that actually does closing for me. Previously I was working as an appointment setter like last month for a business, right? I left them this month, early this month basically, right? Because I wanted to focus mainly on the sales channel and what we do at the sales channel. But I'm going to be breaking down exactly how I've been making money as an appointment setter and how you can implement the same stuff. So we have appointment setting. So now for appointment setting, there are two types of appointment setting. Then I'll show you the kind of ones I actually do. So for appointment setting, we have there are kind of couple of types of appointment setting, but we have phone setting, right? We have DM setting, DM setting. Then we have what's the name of the we have email setting, right? I haven't really done much of email setting, but I actually did email setting. Basically, you send out emails, get people to book a call from an email sequence and stuff like that. You don't really need the email sequence, but I did that when I was actually doing like campaigning, like cold DMs and stuff like that. But email setting, right? For when I had like an agency. But for now, what I do is like there's phone setting, email setting. But right now, what I do is DM appointment setting, right? That's what I actually focus on. Now, for sales closing, we have two types of sales closing. A lot of people actually do the phone closing. No, there can be three kind of sales closing, right? You have actually like phone closing, like audio call, right? Phone closing, right? Like audio, right? Is basically just with audio. Um, and Zoom, right? You can say Zoom, Google Meet, so just do like video, video closing, or let's just a sales closing and put Zoom, right? Let's just put Zoom, right? Zoom closing, Zoom calls, right? Right. Do we have DM closing? DM closing. So these are the main stuffs but the one I've actually done before in the past, I've actually done this. Basically, I've done all, right? I've done all, but what I do right now is this. I do this sometimes for businesses, right? So I'm like a part-time Zoom closer. So there are businesses that actually reach out to me and freelancers basically. They reach out to me and be like, oh, I'm having this prospect in my pipeline, I'm interacting with this prospect. I really don't know how to close this prospect for a high price. I have no experience around it. Can you help me take on the call and I'll give you like a percentage of my first retainer? Right? And I'm like, okay, oh, 30 minutes, $300, definitely something. I hop on a call. First, I understand the offer, right? Understand the offer, hop on the call, close the person. Usually, their offers are not really like high priced 10K offers, so they are very easy to close. I always tell them, I send them questions. I'm like, okay, first thing I want you to do is to have like an SDR call with them, run the whole stuff. They should actually understand the breakdown. Then they send me a call recording. I listen to it. I hear how the prospect talks, I hear how the prospect interacts with them. So I have like, I'm prepared before I actually hop on the call. I don't even need to have a clue what they're selling, but I try to study it, right? I try to study what they're selling. So I have like how to basically transition to the pitch and also like offer value because I do always value selling. Like everything I'm basically even taught my students, right? Find a way you actually pitch value. Value selling is way better. And that's how I actually sell the sales channel, value selling. Like first, most people have actually reached out to me before they sign up to the sales channel. If they ask questions, I answer every single one of their questions, give them strategies on how to like land a position, right? Give them strategies on how they can land positions basically. And it's definitely very helpful. That's definitely very helpful for a lot of them. So this is kind of like not full time. I'm at like 300, sometimes 500 from this. Mm, mm, Usually like 500, 300, sometimes 1,000, but most of the times like 300, 500 from deals like this, right? Then we have DM closing. Here I actually make a chunk of my money from DM closing. Now, the process I use for DM closing is different. Now, the product I actually sell DM closing is actually my offer. I have like two offers, which I actually sell with DM closing. And what I do is I have communities and also other communities. So I go to communities, make posts, and get people to the DMs, interact with them in the DM, send them a VSL, and then close them. But there's a process behind DM closing. Most of you actually watched my previous video. I showed you guys exactly how I got into appointment setting and how I made money. Firstly, it's an appointment setting. I explained a little bit about the system, but the system is quite not hard. So it has to do with a lot of this stuff. So I'm doing DM appointment setting, I'm doing DM closing, and I'm doing like phone closing. Sometimes I hop on audio calls, not actually video calls, audio calls, right? To basically break the ice and stuff like that. But let me break down my selling system. But now, let's basically pick a product. We can actually pick a sales channel, but let me actually use a different product so you guys can actually understand the system, right? Because for the sales channel, it's simple, it's easy. I have a group, I have a community, myself, right? And everyone in the community actually needs, like, basically a huge percentage of people in the community actually needs my service. I make a lead magnet post. Let me actually break down the process, right? So I make a lead magnet post, lead magnets posts, right? So first thing, I need a niche-based community, right? Niche-based community, right? Which I actually own. So, but if you don't have one and you actually just starting out, you're looking for a way to actually like get started with something like this, right? You don't need actually a niche-based community. Like, so how basically how I make how I make money with sales, right? Let's just underline this. So, so I find a niche-based community specific to that product or service. I join a couple, right? You just need like 3, 5 active communities, usually like 3, 5 active communities. So a couple of them, and it could be definitely around like the particular stuff you want to offer. Um, from like the sales, fitness, real estate. Then it could be direct to like coaching and stuff like that, etc. Right? You could just find a couple of them. Then what I do is to make a lead magnet post. Now my lead magnet is my VSL, right? I have a video that it gives them strategy and then gets them to sign up to the product, right? For what I actually use. So your lead magnet could definitely be like an ebook, right? An ebook. It could also be like a checklist. It could definitely be like we also have like checklists and a video, right? It could be a video, it could also be like a YouTube video, free resources, like a free community too, like a free group, right? But the problem with tricky part about free group is most of the admins kind of like frown against free groups, right? Of this community, except the community is yours. but if the community is not yours, you can't really go around the free groups stuff around Red People community. So, but there's a shortcut around this. You could just jump to ChatGPT. Let's actually head over to ChatGPT and let me show you. ChatGPT. I have it on my have if I don't have actually like have any sensitive stuff there, right? Okay, this is a video I'm working on. But let me basically show you guys a few stuff. Let me show you guys. Those was going to search ChatGPT. Right, I think I have ChatGPT here, but my what's the name on my Safari is kind of like synced already. So I want to show you what I do with ChatGPT. If it doesn't actually, yeah, it's actually opening up. So what I do is like, okay, I tell it a simple question. Um, give me, give me list. By the way, my ChatGPT actually knows my product already because I've given it as much information about my product. So I could just type in a simple question and it knows what to actually say, knows what to actually do. So give me a list of lead magnets for the sales channel, right? So I have actually put in a lot of these like months. You can actually see previous 30 days, right? I've actually put in a lot of stuff about the sales channel. So it actually has a lot of information about the sales channel to actually come up with stuff. So what I tend to tell every person that's actually work that wants to do outbound appointment setting and wants to land an outbound appointment setting role and like scale up is what you could do is I'm not really sure if you guys can actually see this. I just noticed I'm actually sharing only this screen, right? I just actually noticed I'm sharing only this screen. So sorry guys about that. Let me just head over here. I'm actually going to show you what it actually typed out for me. Because my chat GPT has like a lot of information about my own offer, right? So I'm just going to copy out what it typed out. I notice I'm actually sharing only one slide. I just actually noticed that. So there's basically like create a new page. Let's put list of lead magnet ideas of lead magnets ideas. Usually I say that any like for my chat GPT, it has like on my account, it has a lot of information about the sales channel because I've actually fed it a lot of information. So what I tell people to do is whenever you're working with a business, you want to actually feed it. Let's actually open this as a slide. Right. Right. You want to actually feed it with as much information as possible for the product or service you're actually selling. Because once you feed it with as much information as possible, it has an idea and a clue of what you're saying whenever you ask a simple question. You don't even need to create a whole prompt. Oh, do this, do this. You just need to ask it a question and it picks information from all the data you've actually given it, right? So list of checklists like okay, job search, job seekers, resources, a couple of lead magnets, tools, educational contents, which is videos, communities, like I mentioned, and we have like quizzes and assessments. You see a couple of stuff, so you can actually get a couple of ideas. So you want to actually feed the chat GPT with a lot of information about a particular product or service. So you want to you are selling for, right? It could be direct partnership or indirect partnership. Now, there's two ways around that. I have not really gone deep into like getting partnership. I will talk about that in a different video. For now, I'm just talking about how I actually sell and actually make money. But for direct partnership, you're like in direct context, you come in clear terms. For indirect partnership, you don't really need to come in like clear terms. You make a profit by adding profit on the products, right? It's kind of like drop shipping, but for digital services or for products. You know how drop servicing is, right? You're kind of doing the same, but you're not actually the one selling the service, right? You could so like drop servicing, you just implement your skill as a setter and a closer and close the people in the DMs. I always say for that, you find products that are not really expensive, but I love to do it for digital products. I tend to do it sometimes for digital sales too, but let's just jump back into it. So you find niche-based community, you create a lead magnet, you get a lead magnet, then the next thing you want to do, why did I click that? Next thing you actually want to do is to create a lead magnet post, right? So now lead magnet posts is what I do, lead magnet posts in all these communities which you've joined. Now, what this lead magnet post does is it brings inbound DMs. So you gets inbound. So let's actually like break down the system, right? Because all this part are the stuffs you basically need. Now, from the lead magnet post, this is where the whole system starts. So you start getting inbound messages. All right. Now you have actually seen the system of how I convert completely outbound people to inbound messages. And from inbound messages, because you're actually giving out something for free. Oh, hey, here's this video that actually helps you guys lose 100 pounds, right? Or here's this video that helps you guys get into sales without you spending 5K, right? Or without spending 10K. A lot of people are going to like that because they do not want to do that stuff which you're referring to. So they jump onto the offer you're basically giving. You just find what people are actually suffering from in the space and actually give them something for free around that. So you get inbound messages, and from inbound messages, what I do with the inbound messages is actually the exciting part. Is I have inbound conversations, right? So the system I actually use with the inbound messages is let me just break it down for you guys. It's a very simple process. Like I have actually spoken a couple of times about it. So I have a Genu opening. This is spelling of Genu. I have a genuine opening, right? So, hey, how you doing? I show you showing interest in the product actually. Sure. Or the video. Hey, you like to get the video? Would like me to send it directly here or and to your mail? I rarely send it to your mail though. I always say, oh, you like me to send it right now or in the next like couple of minutes if you're busy, right? Because if I usually use videos, so I want them to actually watch it, right? Then I'm like, oh, you can send it right here, but I have quick questions to ask you. Oh, I might ask a question like, oh, I saw you showed an interest in the video actually, the video contents to help you to go from point A to this point. By the way, I have a few quick questions to ask you before I send it over to you. Do you have this? Then I start the questions, right? So I jump into the question part. Now, in the question part, I jump into questions. But you want the questions to be very soft, but you want to get their consent because if you just jump into like, oh, do you have this? Do you have that? Do you have this? Do you have that? They begin to become like, oh, are you trying to sell me or something? Like, oh, I would like to ask you a few questions to actually see the right video to send to your way and to tell you how well to actually get value from this video, right? So it basically breaks the questions down into from I ask current situation questions, right? To know where you're currently at. Also, where you're currently at in your sales journey, where you currently at in this, where you're currently at in fitness journey and stuff like that. Oh, have you started like really say investing? Have you done it before? Stuff like that. I try to know your current situation. Then I ask like, okay, where do you want to be? Right? What's your goal with this? What's your goal with this? Okay, what made you interested in this? Right? Desired outcome. Once I actually like the desired outcome, then problem questions. Sometimes it's tricky to ask problem questions, or sometimes what they tell you from the current situation, desired outcome. You can definitely add in problem question. Oh, okay, what do you think is stopping you from going from point A to point B? Now that's usually problem questions, right? Just to actually figure out the problem or to affirm the problem. Sometimes you might know the problem, but you're just affirming the problem, right? Then I jump into personalizing the offer. So from questions, I try to like personalize it, right? But there's something in between all this stuff that actually is very key. I'm going to show you very soon, right? Is you personalize your offer. Basically, the offer you actually have to sell them. Don't forget, you have an offer to sell them, right? Let's basically jump straight into this. You have an offer to sell, right? You have an offer to sell at the beginning. Do not just start conversations and just give people free stuff and just like, okay, I'm Jesus Christ of the space. You definitely have something to sell. All right. You personalize what am I actually spelling? I was personalize the offer, the British English and this and the American English, right? I actually like the Z. You personalize the offer, right? Okay. What if I could actually give you a blueprint that helps you go from point A to point B? Oh, yeah, I see you're currently at this stage, this stage. Since you've made a lead magnet, okay, here's what basically the video is going to help you do. It's going to help you go from current situation. You mentioned the current situation. You don't actually say current situation. You mentioned the current situation. Okay, going feeling stuck, doing this, doing this. To actually get into desired outcome. Mention desired outcome. And eliminating that problems. You mentioned the problem. Do you have 30 minutes to check out the video right now? Now you give them more curiosity and more anxiety to want to actually check out the video. You don't just send them the video and get nobody watching it. You want to give them curiosity about it. Like inviting them to a free group or a free webinar or something. You want, a lot of people ask me like, how do I get people to show up on webinars and stuff like that? When I have a DM conversations with them, they always show up, right? They actually show up because I try as much as possible to personalize it to them based on what they've said. Once you actually use what they've actually said, they show up on the webinar. See on. Now the next thing is when I have inbound messages, then I have the next stuff is I send them to the stuff, right? So I give them video, I send them ebooks. Sometimes the ebooks might have like, if you're using like ebooks, make sure the ebook has like the booking call inside there. Your personal booking call link, right? If you're they're not the only appointment setup, but if you're the main appointment setup works too. Checklist, make sure they all have the booking call. If you're using a video, make sure it's on a page. If it could be Notion or whatever, with a booking call button, right? Make sure it has that. The next thing you also want to do is to like send it over to them, then follow up. That's basically the next part. It's still part of this part. You want to actually follow up, right? So most of them are actually booking a call above or before this. Most of them are actually booking a call after this, or some might actually booking a call and a follow up, right? Some are actually booking a call and the follow up. So either ways, some are actually booking a call here or some are actually booking a call here. It actually comes one way or the other, right? Now, when they're booking a call, you still want to follow up, all right? Now, this is how you actually increase show up rates. This basically increase the next follow up is to actually increase the show up rate, right? You want to actually increase the show up rates. This is basically how you increase the show up rate. And after you make sure you still follow up after the closer actually hops on the call and calls them. You follow up after the call. So you still follow up. So the follow-ups is where the main sales are, right? Even after the prospect buys, after the call, either there was a sale or no sale. I try as much as possible to do that. But for what I do right now, there's not really all this stuff, right? For what I do right now, when I actually get to these points, I send them to a VSL page, right? So I have a, like, for me right now, I have this system from here is not really like there in my system. So from this particular personalizing the offer, I send them to a VSL page. And the VSL is a sales page too, right? So I blend a VSL and a sales page. So after they watch a video, they basically see the price and then I follow up, right? And then I follow up here. I actually do not actually hop on calls. I do hop on calls sometimes, right? So I follow up here and two stuffs happen. Is that they buy or have questions? Now, if they have few questions, I send them a voice message, right? Now, also, there's one thing I actually mentioned here is some tips I actually want you guys to have here is, let's actually clean this and actually put it up with the question. Some tips I want you guys to have here is when you're asking questions, you actually want to use voice message more often. It not really, but for me, it works. I always use voice messages more often. And I use voice messages and I try as much as possible to listen, right? Ask questions and listen. So if you're on a call, you ask questions, listen. Make sure you listen to them and learn. If you don't understand, you ask them a question to make sure you understand. Don't just follow a script. Don't just follow a script, right? Basically, the system I actually use to actually get sales. So I actually send them a voice message explaining it. But if it's not really offer, you can actually explain it in the DMs and make sure it's not too bulky, but really understandable. The person can actually understand it. So you explain it, then two stuffs happen. If they still have questions, I propose a call. Propose a call. It could be the video call, depending on the price point of the offer, or an audio call, right? So the system is quite very easy. So all I basically do is let's actually take this up here. Right? This is basically the system I use right now. So I have a lead magnet post, right? Let me just show you guys the system I use right now. So I have a lead magnet post and send them to. You could definitely do like the call format. For right now, I do not actually do that. So what I try as much as possible to do every single day is to have a lot of inbound messages coming in. So I do a lot of outbound posts, lead magnet posts, right? I do a lot of lead magnet posts, and I get a lot of people coming into my DMs. You don't really need to have this stuff. So if you're someone that's just starting out and you basically, oh, you find an offer, you found an offer, you partner with or directly or indirectly, make sure the offer is like sellable, very sellable, in demand. Find a community around it, then try to start creating like lead magnet posts. Once you start creating like lead magnet posts, you get a lot of people sending you messages in your DMs, like inbox. All right. Once you get messages in your inbox, you could definitely get lead magnet ideas, ChatGPT, create them for the products you're actually selling. Get email messages. You start a simple convo like this, and you could get people to your DMs and then sell them or close them to a sales page or sales or book them on a call, whatever strategy you actually have. The back end doesn't really matter. The main way is how you get them interested in the product, which is why I try as much as possible to get inbound messages, right? This is not really like outbound cold DM. This is not really, this whole system is not a cold DM structure. It's actually getting people that are one prospects, finding one prospect to send you messages, right? Even if they're completely clueless, you want to get people that are interested in the offer and they are the ones you want them to send you a message. So I hope this basically breaks down the whole process. If you actually want to get access to the system I'm actually selling, which is the sales channel that helps you land a role pretty much very fast. And also we're basically launching something this month, by the end of this month, that teaches you how to get offers to work for, basically to sell for without getting hired and start making money from it. You can definitely, by the way, let me break down a simple system, right? So you can actually partner directly or indirectly with an offer. So if you partner with an offer that is like $300, which is very easy to sell in the DM, right? Partner down offer is $300, which is easy to sell in the DM. You mock up the price and you take it up to 500, right? So you have like a $200 profit margin. Now, a lot of people like, how do you actually like don't sell low tickets? Yeah, don't sell low ticket, but you can sell mid tickets, right? But if you're selling mid ticket, don't sell it for a percentage. You put the percentage, right? You want to actually put the percentage. Now say, oh, I want 5%, I want 10%. You can't basically tell the business to give you $200 from the products you're actually selling. So what I do is add up the price and I find the leads from scratch, right? It's not really hard process. There's a lot of videos that teaches you how to find leads, so it's not really hard. So if you're getting $200 per sale, for you to actually just get, you just need 10 sales, right? 10 sales a month and 100 DMs, right? So 100 DMs can definitely get you 10 sales. Kind of, it's kind of like, I feel you get more, right? I feel you get more from 100 inbound DMs, right? Depending on the product you're selling. So 100 inbound DMs. This is not really cold DMing and waiting for people to see if you're getting responses or not. This is when you're actually getting responses. So inbound DMs, 100 inbound DMs, you get like 10, couple of 10 sales a month, and like 10 sales definitely give you like 2 grand, right? Very easy work. Sometimes you can partner up with people. I'm actually going to drop a testimony of a student that actually does exactly this stuff. Partner with a business, and he's working with them as an appointment setter. And what he's doing is reaching out outbound posts, but inbound messages. Kind of tricky because the business actually owns the community, right? But different. But right now, you partner up, you create lead magnets, get them to your DM, and then you sell them. Because people that actually respond to a lead magnet are interested in the offer which the lead magnet has to give, right? So 200 sales, $200 definitely accounts like 2 grand, right? So this is how you can actually make money, right? For the offer I actually sell is like 700, I think like 700. So I just need like 10 sales is um like 7K, right? So it's like 7K. I have like a couple of offers. Definitely I have like a couple of offers and add-ons on the offers. I kind of use like a funnel system, but I'm not really breaking out funnel system, but this is basically how I make money. I have a product. Well, now I actually own the product. Well, previously I was partnering up with businesses and there's a system around it. You could partner up with business, they handle the closing, or you partner with business, you handle the closing. You do a hybrid setting, you set the appointment, close the call. So it either works each ways, and you can make money through that. I hope this basically helps you guys. Okay.